Hello, this is Gretchen Griffin, District Sales Manager with District 2867, and welcome to Session 5 of our Leadership Bootcamp series. We have today and one more to go to finish out our spring session. And today we're going to talk a little bit about creating titles on your team and advancing titles for your team members as well. So we've went through tons and tons of information. If you've missed any of the sessions, we highly recommend you go back and listen to them. We've had different leaders talking and sharing their expertise. And today we have some managers and leaders as well that are going to share with you. So we're going to go ahead and introduce everybody that's on the call today. We'll start with Miss Kelly Travail. She's a district sales manager. You want to tell everyone hello and a little bit about you, Kelly?
Hello, everyone. I'm the District Sales Manager for District 5202 in Missouri and 5373 in Iowa. I've been a District Sales Manager for just a little over a year. Came to Avon. I was just selling on the side in my management position and started leadership. And, then I took the plunge into District Sales Manager. So I really enjoy what I'm doing, and welcome to the call, everyone.
Thank you. Now we'll go over to Janice.
Good afternoon, everyone. This is Janice Youngblood from District 2860 over here in West Virginia on a sunny, warm day. I hope everybody's here, but going to have time to go out and enjoy the day later.
Absolutely. How about Kristy Alley?
Hello, everyone. I'm Kristy Alley, District 1134 and 1490, and I'm excited to be with you guys today. Thanks, Gretchen.
And Shayna.
Hi everyone, I'm off of mute now. I'm Shayna Mena. I am the District Sales Manager for District 5834 in Missouri and District 7900 out in Washington State. So thank you so much for taking time out of your day to join us.
Thank you, everyone. And we have our special guest leadership representative, Miss Kristy Scruggs. She's an Executive Unit Leader from District 2867 in Louisville, West Virginia. And I'm going to let her introduce herself. Kristy?
Well, I think you kind of summed it up there. I'm Kristy, West Virginia, back up in the holler, but I've grown this little business, and I love my Avon business.
Thank you for being here with us today, Kristy. We really appreciate it. And stay tuned because you're going to hear some great tips. Anybody that's ever heard Kristy, she's very inspirational. So we're going to look forward to that. So first of all, we're going to go through and announce who we have on the this would be the fourth challenge list of achievers. And the challenge was to have one new recruit, or one addition actually, with a $100 order. And your 20 leads. Also, the extra credit badge was to have one candidate that had, not a pending candidate, became an actual candidate. So we have a few representatives that were able to achieve that. From Janice Youngblood's district, we have Samantha Long. We hear her name quite often. Congratulations, Samantha, for advancing your business. And from Miss Angie Reckley's district, we have Christy Grove. I've heard that name several times, too. And from District 2867, which is my district, we had Sandy Holly that achieved the extra credit badge by having a new candidate that had a representative place her first order of $100. And Melissa Tenney, as well as Alice Smith. And for Shayna's district, we have Miss Rhea Hastings from out in Washington area. So congratulations to all of our fourth challenge achievers. And if you've missed a challenge, it's okay because we're going to still give you the opportunity to earn those extra credit badges so that you can have 6 badges by the time we get to our last session. And right now we want to go ahead and get started on how you can motivate your team to become leaders and advance in titles. And I know all leaders are now well aware of the Advanced Leadership Program that's going to be starting in Campaign 17. And can you believe we're already starting on 14? Some of you may already be starting to a point for 15. So we're really getting close to that Campaign 17 switchover where the whole title structure changes. And even though your structure is going to change to be focused more on sales, I mean, you have to focus on those sales, but we want to make sure that you understand that a great way to get those sales is not only titled leaders, but that's a huge part of it, because when you think about having yourself plus all of these titled leaders out here with their units, that's how you duplicate, and that's how you can exponentially increase your sales. So you've heard the old saying, you know, you can do the work of 100 people yourself, or you can have 100 people doing it together. And of course, it gets done faster the more people that you have. So advancing your team to get them to advance to title not only increases their earnings, but it's really going to increase your earnings, because every 2 weeks when you get those earnings checks, that's what it's based on, the sales. So the more people you have out there bringing representatives into the business, the higher their sales are going to be, and the higher your team sales are going to be. So it all kind of works together. And you're going to hear a little bit more throughout the session about, you know, how do you know who to focus on? How do you know who to spend your time with? And how long do you spend your time with them? You know, how long do you keep them working with you? These are all things that, you know, as a leader, I know everyone really needs to focus on, and you know, you want to make sure you're getting the biggest return on your time investment, because your time is precious and very valuable, because it's your business. That's how you get to where you need to be. So just a few tips. First of all, how do you get new candidates? Because that's how you get leaders on your team. And the more leaders, the more candidates that you have in that pool, the better your chances of getting titled leaders are. You know, a long time ago when I first started as a manager with Avon, we had Teresa Vaquera was our division manager, and she really, you know, really taught us the importance of keeping that candidate pipeline filled. One new candidate for a leader every campaign at minimum. And she really focused on, you know, two new candidates every campaign. And if you do that, if you focus on getting 2 new candidates every campaign, that's just 1 a week. If you do that, I guarantee you're going to see your business take a huge hike in earnings and sales, because as you're getting those new candidates, that's a big potential pool for you to have motivated people that really want to advance their title, and are going to help you build your team as they're building their team, and vice versa. You're going to help them along the way as well. So some of the things as, you know, as leadership representatives before we become managers, and then as managers as well, some of the things you can go through and look at on your team is, you know, go through and look at who orders every campaign. Print your list out, and look at who is close to having 200 in sales. And, you know, you can go from a range, 150 up to, you know, over 200. If they have those type of sales and they're not already a leader, call them up and let them know all the benefits that they have right now for becoming a leader. The fast track bonus, I have to tell you, that's one of the most lucrative offers I've seen since I've been with Avon, the Get Fit Fast Track. So anybody that's never been a leader before, they still have a $2,600 opportunity. They can start their leadership business in campaign 19, and they still have 13 campaigns to earn that $2,600 potential. So a great opportunity. How about your PRP representatives that are in your downline, or those that are really close to PRP? You know, we've had those representatives that do a VP club, that are representatives that are just shy of making President's Club. And, you know, they work with them and motivate them and mentor them to increase their sales and show them the potential money that they can make as a leadership representative. Also, a big game changer now is the lifetime link, so they can bring their mother or their sister or their best friend into the business, and if they try leadership and they decide that it's not for them, those people are still going to be on their team. They're going to be linked to them as long as their account stays active. So for a leader, it's wonderful. They can bring in everybody they know, and as long as that leader stays active, all those people are going to stay on their team. So use all these new benefits and work with your team and really get them motivated. Another great thing is now they need 2 recruits before their PC journey starts, starting with the Get Fit Fast Track. So their Fast Track doesn't start until the second person places their qualifying order. And you can't forget the Get Fit recruiting bonus now. The first person they bring in, they get that $100 bundle. And the second one is a $35 check. They have to be qualifying. You have to read all the little fine print on the incentives. I know you all already know all about that. But you know, a $100 product bundle and a $35 check for a PRP member that may know a couple people that want to join Avon, or you know, anybody on your team. Another thing about getting new candidates, which we've talked a little bit about in our past sessions, is when you're appointing them or when you're on the phone with them and you're going over that training, you still got to do that list. You still got to talk to them about who they know. And it's not just so that they can get candidates or so that you can get new candidates and they can get recruits. They need to have that list so that they can have sales. One of the biggest areas of opportunity, I think, is teaching our new representatives how to sell. We have another training series on that too. You know, they have the opportunity to earn a Hit 100 challenge, but we don't want them to focus on just getting a $100 order. Yes, they need a $100 order and you need them to have a $100 order, but we want them to have so much more because they need to earn money. Not just $20, they need to earn lots and lots of money. $300 a month within three months is what they need to earn statistically in order to stay with us. So look at the big picture, look at the long run, and get those new candidates. Every time you talk to a representative on your team, talk to them about who they know. Every time you talk to somebody when you're out shopping, ask them who they know. Who do you know that could use an extra $300 to $500 a month? Try it. Challenge yourself every day to use the power of 3 every day and talk to 3 people. Ask them who they know that could use an extra $300 to $500 a month. Do that for 2 weeks. Let me know if it doesn't work, or let me know if it works. I want to hear if it works or not. Let us know your challenges and your successes, because we really want to hear what you're doing and what's helping you. So enough on the beginning, a little refresher course on getting candidates so you can have new titles. Now we're going to switch it over to Miss Kelly Travail, and she's going to share some information with you.
Hello again, everyone. What I'd like you to do right now, and I don't know if you need to close your eyes or sit back, but I'd like you to take a moment to step back in time with me. So we're going back in time, back in time. This was a time when I was in leadership, and I often vacationed at what I like to call the island of missed opportunities. So I did plenty of events, did lots of craft shows, I even had a lot of home parties, right? Lots of people come in and going. So some of my first missed opportunities was just really not engaging with the people that came to my table. So I would have this table. Now picture this. Picture a little bit of everything. And that table was plastered, right? The whole top of the table, there wasn't even space for a bottle of water. I'd have to keep that underneath, right? Totally plastered with product. I was all about having the matchy-matchy. It was cute. But the baskets of stuff, and having the little prices on there, and I just thought, oh, this is just fantastic, right? So one of the first missed opportunities was not putting anything on the table about joining Avon, about becoming part of my Avon team, or about the Avon opportunity. And one of my first aha moments into that was a very nice lady came up to the table, and again, plastered with stuff, like could not see the pink tablecloth, okay? So she says to me, oh my gosh, you had to buy all that inventory? And I was like, oh no. We don't make people buy inventory. And so I thought, well, how do I say it was my choice to buy all these things and put it on the table and then sell it? I needed a way so when people were walking by that they understood that at Avon, we're not going to ask you to buy $300 worth of inventory so that you can have baskets of eyeliner, baskets of mascara, baskets of lip gloss. That was my choice. And as an independent Avon representative, I made that choice. So I thought, note to self, should have something on there that says we don't require stock, because I looked like that we required a U-Haul, right? And that's not what we want to give off. So that was one of my first missed opportunities. Well, I was talking to my DSM, my district sales manager, after that event. She said, oh, how did it go? And I said, oh, I gave out 300 brochures, and I sold, and I was listing off everything that I sold. And she said, oh, well, did you talk to anyone about the Avon opportunity? Well, no, I was too busy. Oh, well, you have recruiting information on your brochure or a little flyer, right? Well, no, it has my information on there. I assumed that by having my information on the brochure, that the people would just be inspired to pick up the phone and contact me, and then that's how they would come to Avon. So another missed opportunity was seeing one of the very ladies that I talked to and I sold 2 lip glosses to, seeing her at an Avon event a few months later. She had signed up to sell, and she was on someone else's team. So another missed one there, a little uh-oh. Another one, you know, and I think I was really too focused on sales. The district sales manager said, you should partner. You should start partnering with your downline. Help these people, show them how to sell. And in my mind, I thought, oh, well, if they're selling with me, they're competing with me. And if they're selling something for $14, well, that's $14 I'm going to miss out on, and I'm trying to reach Honor Society. So needless to say, my thoughts were a little wrong. So I started to partner with my downline. And as they would come, I would give up a section of the table. They would set up their own items. I would show them how to sell. I showed them how I set mine up. I showed them how I sold it. I showed them how I had conversations with people. Then they did the same. So it was an equal playing field. So for example, if they had bought a bundle of a new fragrance and a new skincare, I let them focus on that, and I made sure not to compete with them. I wanted to show them how it was done so they in turn could duplicate that effort and show others. I added a little bit more to that too, because again, my poor DSM, she'd say, how many people did you talk to about the opportunity? And I'd say, oh, well, we didn't get a chance to talk to anyone, but we gave out such and such brochures this time with our labels on them, right, that talked about the opportunity and what to do and the e-store information, reference codes, etc. But I said, oh, I partnered with someone in my downline. She said, well, what about the rest of the downline? Oh, yeah, all those other people. So I gradually started to get it. I gradually started to understand. So by partnering with them, and we're not just talking just one or just two, it was up to 3 people, and what I noticed is the table became less and less full of stuff and more full with information. So these were things that people could pick up, people could take them away, but most importantly is we were not so focused on what was in which bucket and how much each bucket was marked. It was more about having conversations with the people that stopped by the booth and me showing my downline how to have the conversation. So the first person would approach, I would have the conversation with them, the next person would approach, and we would already have that assigned to, this is your person, you go ahead and talk to them. And there was no wrong way of doing it. What I would tell them is the first 2 times you do it, it's going to be painful. You're going to feel weird. By the 3rd time, doesn't feel that way anymore. And when you set it up that way to say, look, it's not going to feel natural, it's going to feel strange, then they know, hey, it's okay that it didn't feel natural and that it felt a little strange. So that was a duplicatable process. The downline members then could go out on their own, have their own events, felt comfortable talking with others, invited their own teams with them, and so on and so forth. It's just something that kept on going. And as you know, when we went remote, there were some growing pains. I know I had some of you reach out to me and say, oh, but I don't want to do the event without you. I need you here with me. I can't do it alone. So think about how your downlines feel. Do they want to do it alone? Do they want to be alone? We've worked with you and we continue to do so in a remote manner, but you want to reach out to them. We may not be able to be in person at the event with you, but it doesn't mean you can't have me on speakerphone. Doesn't mean you can't text me, you can't Facebook message me. We all as district sales managers can work with you and help you and aid you along, but don't forget about your team. Don't leave them on the island of missed opportunities. All right, that's all I have for today. Over to you, Kristy.
That darn mute button. Thank you so much, Kelly. That was just great. I love hearing your story. So now we're going to just kind of turn it a little bit to how do we help candidates become unit leaders. So when you or your downline member have helped someone to get, one person that's joined their team, they become a candidate once they place their first order. And the next step was, of course, unit leader. So some of you who are listening may be a candidate right now, and that's okay, because of course this applies to you. But most of you, lots of you, are a unit leader or above, and you're working with your downline to help them get to unit leader. So no matter where you're at in your Avon journey, this is going to apply to you, but I will speak in terms of helping a downline member to advance to unit leader. So what are the key things that must happen to become a unit leader? Well, we know there are 3 of them if we break it down. We need 3 first-generation downline members that place their order in the same campaign. We need at least $1,200 in sales between you and your 3 first-generation orders, or actually they're recruits too in the system as it stands right now. And then we need personal sales of at least $200. Now, we all know that we've talked a lot about Get Fit. Those changes are coming, but currently what we're going to work towards is this to become a unit leader. So when we take the first one, so let's address the personal sales part of this. So if you take a look at the personal sales of the candidate and see if he or she is reaching 200 on most campaigns, then you can see, are the sales a struggle? And if they are, you definitely want to start here. So get the candidate out to people, handing out brochures and collecting those names and numbers. And then while you and she are out doing this, you can teach her to offer the Avon opportunity to everyone as well. So that way you're just building that habit right from the very start, that it's not just about, would you like a brochure and to be my customer, it's always about, I'm looking for team members. Would an extra $300 to $500 help you out? Teaching her those words and getting her comfortable with them. You're killing 2 birds with 1 stone with this. You don't want to make it like it's 2 separate things to build your customer and sales and building your team. It's not 2 separate things. So if you have a great seller already that is a candidate, that means you're totally done with step 1, right? No, wrong. You're not done, because you still need to get out. You still need to pass out brochure so that she is out there offering that Avon opportunity. And besides, she's going to need a lot of sales to make sure that she hits that 1,200 sales goal, and her team members are going to follow what she does. So if she already has enough sales and she thinks she only needs to just kind of work and talk to only people that might be interested in joining her team as a recruit, they may get that idea in their mind too. So we want great sellers so that we keep and retain our representatives. And then when we look at the third section, so those 3 first-generation orders that we need, as you work with your new candidate to train the representatives, be sure to highlight the crucial importance of just how important it is to schedule and hold the trainings. Emphasize how important it is for that first training that you go through all of the steps that are outlined, that you make sure you're going through that who do you know list, because I will tell you, as a representative who started myself, I didn't do that list on my own. So, and I'll tell you, most people won't. So it's extremely important, even if it's an online sign-up, that you make sure that you are working with that person to go through that who do you know list and doing their training. And then, of course, as her trainer, you know how important that it is that she schedules the next appointment, which is going to be before the first order goes in, to help this person with her second training. And of crucial importance, we all know, it's to help her place her first order. So help her to use words with new recruit that aren't very daunting. I don't find that they like for me to say, hi, let's meet, on Monday before your order goes in on Tuesday because we need to do training. They don't really necessarily want to hear that, but if I let them know, I want to meet with you Monday because your order is due on Tuesday, and I don't want you to even have to think a thought about, oh no, how I'm going to do this, how am I going to place my order. I'm going to be right there to walk you through step by step. So you want to make sure that it's about her and helping her, and teach your candidate to use those words too. Extremely important to teach every new candidate that you have who's working with her new representatives in training to collect payment before the order day and have it loaded to a card. I have found that when you say this, wow, it actually happens. they will get the card. They'll secure the card. They actually have the time to secure the card if you're telling them this from the very first moment that they get started. So that is very important. Again, I'll say I do realize that some of you are working with people who are farther away. Your candidate may be farther away, or their recruit may be farther away. So that's okay. Trainings can be done by phone, Google Hangout like we're doing right now, Skype. The phone works just fine if that's where you and your candidate are comfortable, but it's still important to do these trainings, as well as working with your candidate to get her out. Even if you're not close to her, you can still be that partner. You can schedule time to be on the phone with her as she walks and talks, and that way you're kind of it's like that movie where the guy's in the bush saying the words to the guy and he's hollering up to. Anyway, you're in her ear and you're helping her with what to do when situations come along. So still important. Now, to meet that $1,200 order goal, as you're working with your new candidate to train her people, it's so important to teach her to work the Hit 100 program. While showing them, she needs to be showing them how much more they can earn when they hit 150 and get 30%. And then, of course, I mean, we all want, need, and must tell them that from the very first day, the goal is President's Club. We want to see you earning 40% of what you sell, and we want to see you lock in 40%. So coaching, training, mention all the time that 18 to 20 customers with orders is a great goal. We definitely want to teach that. We want to retain our representatives, and we all know that when they are President's Club, when representatives meet a high number of sales, they stay with us. So we want that, and we need that to make unit leader. So we want those higher sales and teaching them. And the key to getting someone to really put this in their mind and connect with it is their why. So you've got to take their why and connect it to everything that you're doing, including the reason that they would want these 40% sales. So when you're working with them, you know, we know we've got steps 1, 2, and 3. We need 200 personal sales. We need 3 first-generation orders, and we need a total of 1,200 in sales between the 3 first-generation orders and your order. And we aren't talking about the rules here. We all know that 5 or 6 orders are going to be beneficial instead of 3, but those are the minimums. So those are the 3 points we must hit, and that was just a little bit of a breakdown of how do we accomplish each one. It's, again, so important to link sales and recruiting together. They are one. When you are selling, you offer the opportunity to everyone. Those who don't want the opportunity are your customers. It's really, really simple. It doesn't mean it's easy, but it's a very simple concept that everyone is a potential customer and everyone should be offered the opportunity. So always link any activities that you're working with a candidate on doing, link it to their why. So for example, if you're talking to Susie, you could say, Susie, I know that you really want to have that $2,000 for your vacation in September, and I think you can do that as we build each activity. So what day this week are you available to go out and talk to people? And then you wait for Susie's answer. Susie is picturing the beach in September. If she's me, she's picturing the outlet mall and how much more fun that is with $2,000. So you want to get her there in her comfort zone where she wants to be, even when you're talking about activities that you're doing, like going out and talking to people. So Susie's going to be much more motivated when you just bring her back to that goal in everything that you're talking about, whether it be sales or recruiting. So those are my tips, how to break down and work with your candidates to get them to unit leader. And I will turn it over to someone have the Shana.
Sorry, Janice. Goes to Janice.
Yep.
Oh, sorry.
Yep. Thanks, Kristy. And I really want to say, what a great, you hit all the points, Kristy, but one of the best points that Kristy talked about was getting and keeping great sellers on your team. And she gave you some of the hints about sales, and of course, we all strive to build that team, but the sales need to be there too. The sales are what you get paid on. The sales are your commission. So one of the things that you want to mentor your team on and help your team on is getting those sales. So I'm going to quickly go over some sales techniques or some things to talk about with sales. And number one is, and we talk about this all the time, especially we just went over it in our new representative training on Monday evening, is 2 ways to sell. At Avon, we have 2 ways to sell. Face-to-face, handing out that brochure, sharing that brochure with everybody you talk to, wherever you go, whenever you're out, wherever you are. And then you also have your e-store. And you really want to make sure that everyone on your team gets signed into that e-store. On Downline Manager, you can see this information if you don't know about. If you don't know whether they're there or not, if you can't seem to find out, or if they don't seem to know, you can look in Downline Manager, or you can ask your district manager. But the way to go and to tell, or for them, if a representative on your team has not signed up to be what we call an e-representative and have her e-store, she just needs to go to her profile, look under her account information, and make sure that it shows that she has the personal web page. That's all it is. If it says no, she just needs to change it to yes, and then she'll have that personal web page. And then you just go to Web Office. And at Web Office, she can find her web address, which she can share out with everybody through email, through text, through Facebook, however you want to do it. But one of the great things about Web Office is we have a section called Social Media Center. When you go to the Social Media Center, there's all kind of great tips there. There's all kind of great things to share. And everything that you share from your Avon.com, when you're logged into it on social media, identifies back to you, the representative who shared it. So it's just so simple, and you don't have to worry because everything that you shared out from there is going to come back to you. So, Social Media Center, great place. But social media it's kind of a new way of reaching out to people, but yet it's not, because people do use it so often. But if you really want to use your social media as a vehicle to promote your Avon business, whether it be, call me, message me, I'll bring you a brochure, I'll get with you, make sure I hand you that brochure, whether it's at ball practice or the grocery store or the flower shop or the hair salon, wherever you're going, you want to update something about Avon 3 times a day on there. You will have a remarkable presence and be seen to everybody, because there are different segments of the day, different times of the day, people use social media. So spread it out 3 times a day, post something. So I want to pose a question to you right now, and some of you have heard this because Gretchen beat me to the punch. She already posted this on her Facebook, on her page today, on the group page for her districts. But if I was to go to your Facebook page, would I know that you're an Avon representative? Is there something there that immediately says to me or tells me, yes, Janice is an Avon representative. Look at that. She's got the latest brochure there showing, or I see that she's identified, whether it's her cover photo or whatever it is. But make sure that when people go to your page, you are identified as an Avon representative, that they know right away that you're an Avon representative. Because one of the things we hear every day is, I love Avon, but I never see a brochure. I don't know who my representative is now, or I don't know how to get in touch with one. So use social media, use Facebook, use, some of you may use Twitter, use whatever it is to identify yourself. Now, you can't put it in your name, we know that, but there's all kind of ways that, would I know? When I go to your page, would I know? Just a couple more quick tips, though, also, to build those sales. and tips that we want you to pass on to your teams. Number one is extra brochures. We talked about this in our Fab 7 broadcast, if any of you are on Fab 7, last time. And we encouraged everybody to order extra brochures. And we asked, what happened when you ordered extra brochures? Well, you know, you're not going to build your business if you have 10 customers and you order 10 brochures, because you'll always only have those 10 customers. So by ordering extra brochures and asking your customers to share those brochures with somebody they know, or asking them for a referral, having a brochure on hand anywhere you go. So not only can your Facebook page be identifiable with Avon, but so can you. We have some very nice Avon wear, clothing, buttons, all kind of things. Tote bags that you can use and carry with you so that you're identified as an Avon representative wherever you go. Your car should also be identified with stickers or bumper stickers or whatever, because how many times are you getting in the car and somebody walks by and they talk to you? You're unloading your groceries, you're unloading whatever you bought at the mall into the car, and someone walks by. If they see you have an Avon sticker on the car and they're interested in an Avon brochure, they'll ask you. So always make sure you have those extra brochures so that you can keep building your business. And one of the best ways to build your Avon business is to use the Avon products. Make sure that you're using all the Avon products that you can possibly use, that you use every day, whether it's shampoo or sunscreen or bug guard, or, my gosh, you know, wear Avon jewelry wherever you go, because when you're using the products or you're wearing the Avon products, it makes it even easier to talk about the products. Because as I always like to tell everybody, and the representatives in 2860 will tell you, yeah, I've heard Janice say it, be a walking, talking Avon machine. So I hope those are some tips that can help you. Let's pass it on to Shayna, because Shayna is going to give you some skincare tips, because skincare is a great way also to build your Avon sales.
Thanks, Janice. Those are some great tips. But I want to talk to you today about skincare. So this is going to really be incremental in your business, especially as a leader. Getting your downline to understand and to sell a skincare regimen is going to help your leadership checks immensely. So Gretchen's going to share a slide with us right now. There we go. I hope everyone can see this slide. So looking at this slide, first you have to understand skincare. Skincare is a loyalty product. That means that when a woman finds a skincare regimen that she absolutely loves, you will not be able to sway her into anything else. Avon has some amazing skincare. Coming from a skincare background, working for several different companies, I have to say I am in love with Avon skincare. It delivers the products that the products deliver what they say they're going to do. In addition to, the packaging is phenomenal, because women not only want the product to do what it's going to say it's going to do, but they want it to look very pretty on their vanity. So Avon provides both of those. So looking at your skincare sales with your downline member, think about this. I want you to imagine this. If you have one representative, just one downline representative member who sells Reversalist, a year's supply roughly for a Reversalist customer. Now this is if the customer is purchasing every 3 months, which is essentially 4 times a year, so say once a quarter they're purchasing their skincare regimen. She's going to spend $536, and that's just one customer a year. So that's $536 sales added to your downline members' sales. Now imagine if you had 10 downline members who did this. That would be $5,360 additional sales on your team. The great thing is that would be at 40% earnings. So 40% earnings if each member had 10 customers. So that would be $5,360. Now imagine if each of those downline members each had 10 customers. So each downline member has 10 customers. Can you imagine what that's going to do for your sales? But the numbers are getting too big, and it's just making me crazy, and all this money's flying at me. So let's back up a little bit and talk about one downline member. One downline member has 10 reversalist customers. So that one downline member, that's going to be $5,360. She's going to earn 40% earnings. So for her, she's going to earn $2,144. And she's halfway to PC. What is that earnings for you? That's $192 in earnings. That roughly around 6%, because that's what the average earnings are for leadership in Avon. So $192, that's in your pocket, and that's just for the year, okay? And if you move up in the skincare regimen, if that one downline member, just one, had 10 customers who each bought a year's worth of Ultimate, those were her loyal customers, your downline member would earn $2,224. However, you, as a leadership representative, would be earning $200 that year off of that one representative, just one representative. So if you earn $200 a year off of one representative, how much are you going to earn when you have 10 downline member representatives? $2,000, exactly. Yes, $2,000 you're adding to your yearly checks. So the importance of skincare is not only just selling it, you have to understand it. To understand it, you need to take the trainings on Avon University, the trainings that you're provided on the Fab 7, the trainings that you're provided by your district sales managers, anything that you can get your hands on, learning about skincare and understanding not only what it does so you can speak to the product and sell the proper product to your customers, but to also be able to understand it and teach it to your downline members. So the power is in skincare. It is a full earnings product. It's going to be able to help increase your leadership checks as well as increase your downline members' revenue. And all of the learnings are provided to you. There's so many avenues that you can take to learn more about your skincare. So remember that skincare is the way to go, and I am going to pass it off to Gretchen.
Okay, so some great information. We're gonna pass it on over now for some more great information. I'm still baffled by all the numbers. You saw my calculator up there, so I'm gonna bring in the final numbers there at the end because it's amazing what really skincare can do for your business. But I'm gonna pass it over now to our wonderful Executive Unit Leader, Ms. Kristy Scruggs, and she's going to share what works with her and her team. Kristy?
So I'm going to talk about your team and building that team atmosphere with your team. So have you ever had a job where you stepped outside your job responsibilities, you went above and beyond what was asked of you and what is required of you, and nobody acknowledged it whatsoever? That tends to happen in the corporate world, right? They see that and they're like, ooh, she can handle more than what we give her, so let's just pile it on her. Or perhaps they'll take some of the work from a lazy coworker who can't ever seem to get their job done, and they give it to you because you go above and beyond. So then it's expected of you. And then your job changes. Now you've got more responsibilities. Now you've got more work. You see your coworkers who have, that's earning the same wages that you earn, not working as hard as what you do, and you get no type of recognition for it. You get no kind of praise for it, and you certainly don't get any more money for doing it. So that's why people become disgruntled in their jobs, right? And they end up not liking their jobs. So imagine you're the boss, but we don't really like to use that word in Avon. We like to use team leader, right? So imagine you're the team leader of this wonderful team of people that you've signed up. and you ask for them to go out and duplicate the things that you do, but yet you don't want to give them any praise or give them any type of, add a girl for going out there and doing that. Does it make them want to go out there and do it? Does it make them continue to enjoy Avon? Does it make them think, I'm getting recognized for the work that I'm doing? Or does it end up feeling like a job? So with Avon, we want to go above and beyond for our team. We want to encourage them. We want to be their biggest cheerleader and let them know that we appreciate what they're going out there and doing. And we want to show our excitement for them and let them know, guys, you're doing great. Look at what's happening. And it's not going to happen overnight. And a lot of people are mistaken when they join Avon. They think, okay, where's the money? I joined. It should be here. It should be in my lap by now. But you actually have to get out there and work for it. So you have to communicate this with your team members. You can't just sign them up and say, here's my phone number. If you have any problems or concerns, I'm more than happy to help you. No, you have to stick with them, and you have to give them those atta girls and those pats on the back and be encouraging, because that's what's going to keep them excited. That's what's going to keep them motivated to continue to build their business. And by them doing that, that's just going to build your business as well. Personally, I know that I love to see my names on the recognition slides. Gretchen will have a sales meeting, and I'll see my name, and I'm like, yeah, look at me. I rock. I'm on top. Woohoo. Or I'll see my team members, and I'm like, yay, look at you. And I'm automatically on Facebook message. Did you see on the sales meeting? You're being recognized. So take how you're feeling whenever you see that and apply that to your team. They want to hear those type of things too. So, the district managers, division managers, even their uplines go above and beyond to do recognition. But sometimes you have to step back and do recognition for your team as well. Because, yes, the district managers do that recognition, but they're recognizing the top of the top. You need to be recognizing the top of your team so that, it weeds them down a little bit more. Our districts are very huge. The divisions are even huger. So, you're competing against top people. So, you might not be in the top 5 for that. But on the top 5 of my team, they want to hear that stuff. They want to see their name up there. You want to tag them on Facebook in your posts. You want to send them a private message, and even if that's not working, give them a phone call and say, hey, I just wanted to let you know that, you're doing awesome. You were #1 in sales for my team for this campaign, and let them know that. And there's other times when I don't see my name on the slides. And as soon as that happens, I think to myself, okay, well, I let this happen, first of all, because I've been sitting on the couch. So I need to get up off the couch and get out there and work to move my name back up on the top of those boards. So, if I'm feeling this way when I see my name on the boards, I know that my team feels the same way. So in turn, I have to turn it on for my team so that they can improve themselves as well. So think of it in a sports metaphor. So think of it as a football game. You have cheerleaders on the sidelines, and they're gossiping among themselves and kind of flirting with the boys up in the stands. And you have the crowd, they're up there, they're yelling at their little kids, sit down, quit touching him, don't do that. And you have the band, which is missing because they're roaming around talking with their friends. How does that make their football players feel? They're sitting out there and they have no support whatsoever. They see all these people bored at this game, most of them just there because it's the thing to do. And they don't get out there and they don't try, they don't hustle, maybe they're getting beat down, and they're just letting it happen. Because what's the point? Who cares? Now turn it around, and you've got cheerleaders on the side that's screaming at the top of their lungs. You've got the crowd up in the stands with homemade poster boards with even using glitter on them and putting little hearts on them, and I heart number 21, and they got their little cowbells ringing and the band's playing the fight song. How does the football players feel at that point? They want to go out there and win. It doesn't matter if they're getting slaughtered. They're trying their hardest because they have that support system back behind them. So if you think of it like that as an Avon team, when your team is out there and they're trying, you want to be their biggest cheerleader, and you want to be ringing your cowbell for them, and you want to be getting your little pom-pom and going, go team, go, and making a little sign and throwing it out there whenever you hear recognition for them. Because when they see that type of things, they get excited and they want to go out there and they want to make more stuff happen. If you're just like, yeah, you did good. Do you think that's really going to work? Do you think that anybody really wants that type of support? Or do they want to see those pom-poms? Do they want to see you smiling? Do they want to feel your enthusiasm? And that's what gets people off the couch. That's what makes people get out there and work for their team. So, you know, if all you do is sign them up, give them that phone number, and send them out on their way, and then they fail, you have nobody to blame but yourself. You can't really blame them because you did not give them the support that they needed. But if you are, you know, contacting them, you're giving them the phone calls, you're sending them Facebook messages, you're offering different tips and hints, and you are behind them on that first order and showing them how to put that order in, and then they still don't do it, then that's not your fault. That's because they lack the motivation, they lack the self-discipline to do it. And you just have to move on and say next, sign up your next person and start working with them. And, you know, you can't really let that hold you down and hold that chip on your shoulder. And a lot of new leaders do that. They sign up 1 or 2 people, those 2 people fizzle out, and they think, I'm just not cut up for this leadership thing. I can't do this. Well, no, that's not your fault. That's their fault because they didn't do the work and put forth the effort. But as long as you are offering your support and you're cheering them along, that's all that you can do. So as for how I choose who on my team to work with, you have to find the desire. So how do you find their desire? Well, first you need to talk to them, because if you don't talk to them, you're never going to know. You got to ask questions and find out how much time they're willing to put into their business and how much effort that they're going to put into their business. If when you're asking these questions, they're full of excuses, well, I just really can't. My son's goldfish died, and we have to have a funeral in the next couple of days, so I'm going to have some time to plan that out. Next, move on and find somebody else, because I can want it for you all day long, and I can give you all my time and energy, but if you're not going to put forth that effort and all you come up with is excuse after excuse after excuse, then what's the point? I'm wasting my time, I'm wasting my energy. I've got to find somebody who is as energetic and enthusiastic about their business as I am. So I've got to move on. And I've made that mistake 100 trillion times before because I just want it so bad for everybody. I want them to all succeed. I want them all to be able to quit their jobs, to stay home with their kids. But it's not going to happen because not everybody has that same motivation and self-determination. And you just have to keep on moving until you find. Offer them the help, show them how that they can do it, and see if they use those tips that you're giving them to further their business. If they're constantly sending you messages saying, well, I just can't get no sales, and you say, well, how many books have you handed out? Well, 3. Well, no. You're not putting forth the time and the effort. So why should I put forth my time and effort to help you when I've got 20 other people who are out there working their business who need my help? That's who I've got to focus my help on. I've got to focus my help on the people that's out there working their business, that's going to work their business when I'm not there holding their hand. So how do I work with my team? Well, obviously, we're virtual. We're on the web right now. Hello, how are you doing? I might not be able to see you, but I can see Gretchen's face right now. So you're able to use the World Wide Web to get out there and talk to your teams at any time. Guess what? Google Hangouts isn't just something that the managers can use. Anybody can get on there and make this happen. Get your team together and have a Google Hangout. But it's up to you to make it happen. You're going to have to get onto Google and figure it out and, you know, take an hour out of your day to learn the system, to set it up and get your team on it. Then you can teach your unit leaders how to do it as well. And it's just going to be be able to be okay, whatever. You know what I'm saying. Moving on. Facebook is my way of communicating with my team. I have a team page in which I post recognition for my team. Anytime that they're out there doing different things, I put stuff on Facebook, as you might have seen earlier. I have Miss Sherry Cox is back with me with Avon, and she signed up her first person today. How great is that? I love showing pictures on my team page when I have events going on. You can see in this picture I have a tent set up at a flea market, so I wanted to show my team how it's done so that they can do it as well. And you can tell it obviously works because I have team members who are out there setting up at events, and it's great to be able to show things like this on your Facebook page because your team is able to look at these pictures and say, oh, I can do that. That's just a black tablecloth that she has on that table. I don't have to have an Avon tablecloth to do this. So anytime that you can share on your Facebook page different ideas that your team can duplicate, then you want to be able to do that. And you want to post on those pages daily, because if you aren't posting stuff and you're not talking to your team, their enthusiasm is going to go down. And what's going to happen? Your checks are going to go down. And I'm living proof of it. Because, by gosh, when I don't work my business and I sit on the couch, my checks go down. And so I have to get out there and I have to talk to my team. You can also create events on Facebook, like a lot of the district managers do, to remind your teams of webinars and different events that's going on so that they don't forget, and Facebook will automatically remind them. I took some other notes. Field time is excellent. Get out there and work with your teams. Gosh, get off the couch and go out in the sun and actually get vitamin D. Yes, yeah, you need to do it. Go out there and show your teams how to tailgate. It gets your teams more engaged, and you want to be able to create leaders who's able to show their teams how to do this as well, so that they're doing it when you're not around to hold their hand and you're not there to hold their signs up for them. You want to show them you can do this as well. So make sure you spread your love out and not just work with the same team member time after time after time. Events, you know, I told you earlier that I set up at a lot of events, such as this. I was at an event Saturday, and just like Kelly was talking about earlier, invite your team members to come to those events, because even though they're a new representative and they don't have stock, they can hand out brochures and they can talk to people while you're busy with someone else. And it happens to me all the time because I do have a lot of stock. I like to go set up on the weekends. I like to talk to my vendor friends. I like to make new customers. But what happens is I get so busy and so many people come to my table. I might be talking to this one lady about eyeliner and why our eyeliner is so great and the eye makeup remover that she needs to go with it, and oh my gosh, have you seen this eyeshadow? You have to try it. And there's 4 other people that's already walked by my table. They've stopped, they've looked, they didn't get any type of interaction from me because I'm dealing with this one lady, and they've moved on. So how many of those people that moved on might have wanted to join my team, but I didn't have the time to talk to them, to ask questions, to see if they might be interested. So it's awesome to have team members there and tell them, you know, come, bring your brochures, find you some new customers. learn how to sell the products, because you're going to hear me talking about the products. And as well, you're going to see me recruit people, and you're going to learn how to talk to them and how to recruit people for your own team. It's a win-win. You're teaching your team how to sell, you're teaching your team how to recruit, and you're getting help for those events. You know, just like Kelly said, it's not rocket science, you know. Get those teams out there and get them involved. Incentives, you want to make sure that you are up to date on the incentives that's going on so that you can advise your team about which incentives are going on and what they need personally in order to make it happen. A lot of times we forget and we just post, oh, look, you can win your dream ticket to Orlando. Well, a new representative might see that post and think, I can't go because I'm a new representative. This is only for older representatives. So you have to take that time and effort to message your entire team, if need be, and let them know they are eligible for this incentive, and let them know what they need to do in order to earn it, especially these incentives where it's you do, you earn. Why not? Let's see how many of your team you can actually get to earn these incentives. You know, I just got back from a trip to Cancun, Mexico, and you can see I took my team member, Amy Hera, and well, I didn't take it. She earned it. She earned this trip, and she was at home with a broken leg and a broken arm while she earned this trip. And in the background, you can see Miss Pam Cook from Charleston, West Virginia. We all got to hang out and have a fabulous time, all expenses paid by Avon, in Cancun, Mexico. That's right. Who has a passport now? I have a passport now. That's right. I didn't have one before this. So you want to be sure to let your team members know that they can earn these type of incentives too. It's not just the best of the best that get to go. It's the people that work for it. And if you're willing to work, you can earn it too. So make sure that you're using videos. You can do YouTube videos, which I recently have started doing. Be sure to subscribe to me. And Google Hangouts to unite with your team. In addition, I've also in the past did picnics and get-togethers for my team. I'm getting ready to do one 2 weeks from now in Beckley, West Virginia. We're going to have a hot dog cookout. And, of course, while we're there, I'm going to be talking to the team because I want to help them increase their sales and hopefully get them interested in leadership as well. So we're going to use any and every opportunity that we can to inform our team, educate our team, and we also want to create that family atmosphere so that, you know, this isn't all just about business. I've made some of the bestest of friends that a girl can have through Avon. And, you know, even though I talk about business a lot, it's all about family and friends as well. So remember that whenever you're talking about your team, and be sure to engage them whenever and however possible. Back to you, Gretchen.
Thank you, Kristy. Always entertaining and always full of great information. So I'm going out and buying my pom-poms today. So, I mean, even over the distance, you're able to motivate. I mean, I get chills when Kristy talks, and then when she gets pumped up, I get pumped up. So you have that same effect over video or even over the phone. So great tips and ideas. I took a ton of notes while Kristy was talking. And Kristy has, I have to tell you, her event over the weekend, she sent me a picture of this big wad of cash. And I'm like, oh my gosh. And then she told me how much money it was. I was like, oh my gosh. So I told her she might not want to post that because somebody would be stalking her. It was a lot of money, though. So some of the things that I heard from Kristy Scruggs was, and she does this very well, she holds herself accountable. She has a very good business mind, and she takes responsibility for her business. And you know, she really does not only work with her team, she really does open herself up to helping any representative at all. So you know, and her time is very valuable. I mean, she has teenagers, she has a little baby daughter, She's very busy, but she still opens herself up to help mentor her team and lead by example, which is what most great successful leaders do. She's very good at creating energy on her team, working towards incentives, working with her team to break those down and really let them know what they can earn. Like right now, for the first time since I've been with Avon, we have a mentor bonus for unit leaders. So you don't have to be AUL and above now. Unit leaders and Unit Leader Plus can also get in on those mentor bonuses. And they're unlimited, so take advantage of those. And like Kristy said, know those incentives. Kristy, every chance she gets, she's always increasing her self-development, stepping out of her comfort zone a little bit. She is not a fan of technology at all, I have to tell you. She's not a fan of phone calls, but she does them when she needs to. The internet, where she lives in West Virginia, she just recently got an internet where she's able to do things like this, be online, on video. As she said, when you're working with new leaders, it's very important that you help them stay persistent because, like Kristy said, you can appoint that one or two people and they don't, they fizzle out, they don't do anything. So you kind of want to prepare your leaders for that. They can't just focus on one or two if they want to advance the title and earn this bonus money and earn these earnings checks every 2 weeks. They have to keep going. Even though with advanced unit leader or advanced leadership, they only need 3 people on their team, take a look at that. Right now at unit leader level, they're earning 3%. So how about doubling that? Why wouldn't you want to double that? You can give yourself a paycheck and double it. You have control of when you get a raise. Who doesn't want to double their paycheck, okay? So right now, if you're a unit leader, or if you're not unit leader, think about this. Would you rather earn 3% or would you rather earn 6.5%? So if you look at the advanced leadership chart, to be a leader and earn 6.5%, you need $8,000 in sales. So this is why you need titles, because you and your team, even though you only need 3 first-generation orders, to get $8,000 in sales reasonably with the average order we have now, you need about 48 people. So you can go out and get 48 people, or you can enlist 4 other leaders to help you get those 48 people. So you each get 12. What sounds better? You get 12, and 4 others get 12. So you can build it faster and you can build it better if you have team leaders with you, working with you independently. So think about that. You can be in one place, just like Kristy said, and you can have 4 team members in other places working at the same time. So you're quadrupling your efforts in one day. And some other notes I took was recognition. Everyone needs pom-poms. And Kristy, I have to tell you, when we do rallies, she is always a big cheerleader, no matter what kind of mood she's in, no matter what kind of struggle she's gone through personally or professionally. She is always her team's biggest cheerleader, and sometimes mine. She helps me energize and motivate representatives as well as other district managers. And she really wants to make people feel good about themselves, because we know when we can pump them up all day long, and then they go home and inevitably somebody's going to say, "Oh, you're never going to make any money at that." Well, Kristy can show them her paychecks, and they can listen to Kristy's story, and the Lisa Wilbers and Molly Stone Bibbs and all of these great people that are earning big money. You can do it, so don't let those naysayers get into your head. Keep them out and listen to the cheerleaders. And just going back to, the same theme throughout was duplication, duplication, duplication. So, you have to know, like Kristy said, you have to know when to set them free and expect them to work with their teams as well. So, part of the reason of having them out working with you, common theme, it's a great way to teach them how to sell. It's a great way to teach them how to recruit. It's a great way to teach them how to mentor their current candidates. But again, you need them to be independent. So once you get them trained and you've observed them and they're doing it right and they're comfortable, then you got to kind of give them that nudge and say, "Okay, Birdie, go. You've got your wings now. Take off and fly." And you know, you might have resistance. It's a scary thing when they're going to do it all by themselves. But like I think it was Kristy that said, you know, after 2 or 3 times of doing it, then their confidence gets built up, and that's the true empowering women that we need. That's what you want to do with your team. That's how you can create independence. That's how you can create duplication, and you're really giving somebody that feeling that, hey, I can do this and I can help others do this. And once they start helping other people, it brings them to a whole nother level of confidence. And I have to tell you, Shayna is always my favorite part, because skincare sales is such a simple way for any representative to increase their earnings, to be a top seller, and it's a great way for leaders. Oh my gosh. And if you didn't see my calculator up earlier, the numbers that Shayna was talking about, you know, just if you consider one representative with 10 customers buying skincare in a year, earning, and that would give you $200 in leadership earnings. Okay, so if you have 10 people in your downline doing that, that's $2,000 in earnings increase. Separate that, you saw my calculator, separate that over per campaign. That's, I think it was $76 increase in your earnings every campaign. We probably have some leaders on here that aren't earning $76 every campaign. So a great thing for you to do is to focus on skincare with your downline. Teach them how to sell it to their customers. And make it a focus, you know, give them challenges, make it exciting for them. And also, like Kristy said, 2 ways to earn, 2 ways to sell. It's not one or the other. To earn the maximum amount you can earn with Avon, it's combined. And why? You don't need to double your efforts. You can do them together. You can do them as you go. Customers are easy. You're always going to find customers. And you know, those missed opportunities that Kelly talked about, we all have those. And we all have those stories where somebody signed up under somebody else, and they could have signed up under you because they were your customer, but they just didn't know they could. Actually, Kristy Scruggs has that story in her downline as well. Her previous EUL, Sandy Holly, was a customer of somebody else, and Sandy became an EUL, I think, in 9 months on Kristy's team, and she's still doing wonderful. She sells at Honor Society level. So lots of missed opportunities out there. And then Janice talking about the e-store, that's another huge area that our representatives have. I mean, Avon offers so many great deals on there for our representatives to share with their customers. You know, a free Father's Day watch and a multi-tool right now is going on the online stores. What an amazing deal that we can give to our customers and our representatives. And finally, my favorite part about Kristy Scruggs is how she builds the community on her team and the camaraderie. And her team is like a little family. You know, they work together. Even leaders outside of her team, Kristy says she adopts them. So it's just really important for you to have your own, no matter what level of leadership you're on, have your own calls, videos, whatever you feel comfortable with, in-person picnics. You know, create some fun amongst your team. I know Kristy creates little challenges among different levels of her team, whether it be leadership, titled leaders, or even just new representatives. So get that team feeling in there, and when you do that, then that's when they're going to stay a little more loyal and kind of feel more involved in that recognition that you're providing for them. Really does provide that lift to help keep them going. So everybody go out and get your pom-poms because you're going to need them to get those new representatives to advance in title. So right now we have one more challenge for you, and I'm going to pass it over to our challenge queen, Miss Kristy Alley, and she's going to share what that's going to be.
Thanks, Gretchen, and thanks everyone. This has been such a great hangout. Kristy Scruggs always gets me excited. I'm like, I want to be on your team. You know, she just gets me. I love it. So I just wanted to let everyone know what this challenge is going to be. So very simple, easy peasy. One new appointment between now and the next call with a $100 first order. So one new appointment with a $100 first order. And this time we've decided to have 2 extra credit challenges. So here's your chance to do some catching up. So the first extra credit opportunity will be when you have a new candidate on your team whose person places the order. So they can't be a pending candidate. Their person has to have placed the order. And the second opportunity is going to be for you to have no loss on your team at the close of the campaign that closes between now and next campaign. So, you know, I know we're all in different RPSs. We're all in different RPSs. So when 13 closes out, for instance, if that's what you're working on right now, you want to make sure that your inactive 5 representatives who are about to be removed and your past due 3 representatives who are about to be removed are less than the number of additions with orders that you have. That way your team is going to grow staff, or at least if they're equal, you're going to stay the same, and you'll get this extra credit badge. I know if you've not been someone who has really looked at this in the past, it can seem confusing. So please contact your district manager, call her, text her, Facebook message her. Let us go over this with you and explain it, because the key to growth is that your team, instead of going down in numbers, goes up in numbers, and at the very least we got to stay the same. So that's why we're given that second opportunity for the extra credit badge. Very exciting, and I will pass it back to Gretchen to wrap it up.
Very exciting challenges, great opportunity to catch up on those badges, and we're going to have the certificates and the badges coming out for all challenge achievers, so you want to make sure that you have at least 6 badges over the past sessions. Next session is going to be all about downline manager, and it's going to kind of tie into a lot of what we talked about today, you know, as far as what reports do I look at, what do I need to be doing, and when do I need to be doing it, and how do I use this downline manager? It's so confusing. So we have some leaders that are going to be sharing how they utilize it, and just some things that help them get around it, and what kind of reports they use to really help them dive into helping their team out as well and increasing everyone's earnings. So make sure you join us. It's going to be 2 weeks from today. Same time, same bat channel, 2 p.m. Eastern. You have to get on the time zone sharp, because I just know it's 2 p.m. Eastern and Pacific is 3 hours before that. So I'm on Eastern and Pacific time here. So make sure you join, and all achievers that have earned the 6 badges will get that fancy little dog tag that says that they have achieved or completed the Leadership Bootcamp spring session. So fancy colors, not the silver dog tags like we get in the military. So thank you again for joining us. We're getting finished a little early, so that's exciting. And once again, we appreciate all the managers pitching in and helping out, and especially our guest speaker, Kristy Scruggs. I've already sent her some goodies in the mail thanking her. So have a great day, everyone. And if it's warm outside where you're at, go out there and get those new representatives.